packed up my handmade worry stones and a handful of old pieces and made my way to downtown Brooklyn for a 2-day market near the Brooklyn Bridge. And I couldn't help but wonder how the weekend would unfold. I'd never done this market before and wasn't sure what to expect, so I focused on simple last-minute prep and an easy filming setup that kept me from burning out. But what actually unfolded was far from what I imagined. Hello and welcome back to another market vlog. So today is Friday and the market that I'm doing is Saturday and Sunday. Yes, as in tomorrow and the next day. Am I ready for the market? Not really, but will I be ready for the market? We can only hope so. Also, by the way, my name is Emma and I'm an artist and a small business owner. I run my shop Time Boom Studio out of this little corner of my living room, which currently is pretty messy. I've been very busy getting orders out over this past week. I still have more orders to sculpt and more orders to ship out, but now I need to transition and I need to get this market done. So the exact market I'm doing is called the FAD Market, and that stands for Fashion, Art, and Design. So the market itself is happening in Dumbo in downtown Brooklyn. If you've ever been there, you know where like the Brooklyn Bridge is and where the carousel is. It's literally in the Time Out Market, the Empire Stores, which is right there, right along the water. Especially on the weekend, there are tons and tons of people there. It's also summer, so I'm sure a lot of tourists are there right now as well. But I've heard mixed reviews when it comes to this market, when it comes to the profit of it. So I'm very curious to see what's gonna happen. Although I am honestly behind on prepping for this market, I would have liked to start earlier. Which is a great problem to have, had too many online orders to do. I also have my part-time job I've been working lately and I just haven't had the time. And I was feeling really stressed over the past week because I was literally like, I have my plate and it is overflowing. And so instead of just being stressed and crying, as I like to do when I get overwhelmed, I said, hey Emma, you're a creative person. You can problem solve, you can figure out how to tweak it around, make it work for you. And so I did. So I'm just pulling up my Notion. I'm gonna go through my whole to-do list because there's a lot of moving parts and I wanna make sure I don't forget anything because my memory does not have the best track record. Okay, so there's a bunch of like teeny tiny things we need to do, but here's the big picture of what we got going on. First off, I need to figure out my booth setup because I got just a half booth for this market. I had to figure out how to take my big booth setup and squish it down, like cut it in half. We're gonna charge everything that needs charged, our card reader, our camera battery, our portable charger, and then we're gonna make sure everything is packed up tonight so that in the morning I can just go to the venue and try to not be late. I'm so bad with time, but I'm not gonna be late this time. They said you need to be punctual, so I'm gonna get there early and take a coffee and try to sit by the water for a second before the market starts. As you can already tell, there is a lot of moving parts to doing a market. Honestly, the last thing we need is a complicated filming setup because yes, of course we're documenting it all, but thankfully I got you. Let me introduce you to the perfect on-the-go filming setup. This little thing right here, MOFT Invisible Tripod Stand. Filming while on the go and at art markets used to feel very intimidating, but now I can just set up my phone in literal second and actually enjoy on just capturing the moment. And it's all thanks to MOFT, the Invisible Tripod Stand, an origami-inspired, tiny, lightweight tool that looks and works beautifully. It's MagSafe compatible, so it snaps on quickly and stays super sturdy. I use it constantly to film both at home and while out on the go, capturing my art and small business experiences. Floating mode makes it easy to capture everything from the perfect angle. No more awkward balancing acts. And standing mode is great for quick close-up shots of my art and products. And then vlogging mode is perfect for capturing real-life moments throughout the day. Plus, it's super easy to switch from vertical filming for short form to horizontal mode for YouTube. And honestly, I do still get really nervous filming out in public, and this little thing has made it so much more comfortable, easy, and discreet. Plus, it fits right in my bag or even my pocket, so I can always have it with me. And they also have tons of other useful products like this, which I've been using, the Dynamic Folio iPad case. And it's perfect for drawing with using a reference photo, watching a little video while sculpting, taking a break to read my favorite book, and even creating a more polished booth setup and checkout experience. I highly recommend this little tripod. It's really so tiny and elegant. If you want to check this out for yourself, the link is in my description below. And don't forget to use the code TinyBloomStudio10 at checkout for 10% off your order. Huge thank you to MOFT for partnering with me on this video. Why did I bring a suitcase over here, you may ask? Well, see, this is the suitcase I took all of my stuff to Renegade in. And this is still the suitcase that is holding all of my stuff from the Renegade Art Market. I've taken a few things out here and there as needed, but I never actually fully unpacked it because I never got around to it. I was busy doing other things, but I think it's actually working out my advantage now. So let's see what's in this. This is my little foam piece I pop onto my tripod to use my phone before, but guess what? I don't need it anymore. It's a little bit of a mess. I'm gonna organize this real quick and then we'll check back in. I love these little things. I use them to display my stickers. They're just little toy shopping baskets, but they make me so happy. I just love anything tiny. Here's the problem. I didn't have time to actually sculpt that many new things for this market, but I do have all of this stuff that is already sculpted. I have some of my worry stones made. I have this batch made that I can take. I just need to like sand on the backs on like flat ones, but then these are good to go. But I have a lot of things made within these different containers. A lot of these are things that I actually don't have up on my shop anymore. These are kind of old things. It wasn't working the way my shop was going. In order to make these things and have it actually be profitable for my time, like making more complex keychains and jewelry, I just had to price them higher to make sure I got the payout, and it just didn't seem like it was within people's budget. So I'm gonna treat this market as a big clear out sale. I'm gonna take these things, I'm gonna discount them. Hopefully it'll be a good price point that people will they won't even think twice. They'll just be like, that's cute, I'm gonna buy it. Once things are made, I'd rather get some money for them than no money. I mean, that's basically why any business has a sale. You have overstock, you have leftover things, you wanna just get whatever you can for them. And these are actually worry stones from when I did the Renegade Market and I did the little Pride Market before. And these were my first batch of doing them. And all of these have flat backs. This is my very first round. These are the ones I stole at Renegade, the ones that kind of kicked everything off. And then I decided to add textures to them. And by adding the textures, I also want to make them a bit bigger. And also I just personally, with continuing prototyping, I liked the size being a little bigger. And so for comparison, here's the initial one. And then here is the newer ones. They're bigger. You can also get them with a swirly back or a spiky back, or still just flat if you like. And because I'm not selling the smaller size on my website anymore, it just felt too complicated to like sell two sizes that aren't drastically different. But I'm gonna take these, sell them for $10. I'm gonna take my bigger ones, sell them for a little bit more. This is to display my worry stones, so I definitely need this little stand. This for keychains, potentially jewelry too. Hi, honey.
Hi, babe. Are you
How you doing? A little bit, yeah.
Huh, so I'll be quiet.
No, you're good. Look who's stealing my coffee.
Oh no!
Caught on camera.
I didn't know you were recording. That's so discreet.
I love you. And here I have all of my little signs from my last market. They're all colorful and cute, and some of them are like price signs, other ones are just little things I want people to know. Like my worry stones. Like, what is a worry stone? But a lot of these now are actually outdated pricings. Also, it's so freaking cute seeing like these little worry stones down here, and then you look up and there's the bigger ones. For my new signs, I just did them up in Canva. The way that I personally do it is I just print them out onto sticker paper, and right now I just have this one. It's like pretty okay. I don't actually use it to print out my stickers that I sell. It's just a cheaper sticker paper and it works well for this kind of stuff. And then I'll put the sticker paper, once it's printed out, onto cardstock that I have. The way I've been DIYing them lately. Photo paper, cardstock, stick this to this, cut it out. That's basically it. But I'll do a quick little time lapse if you're curious. I'm going to be slightly different pricing scale for my in-person ones. So $10 for mini, $12 and $14, just to kind of keep things a little more simple. And then for my keychains and my necklaces and my earrings, I'm basically doing them with approximately like 50% off. We did it all. I think I just have to pack things up and then I think we're done for the night. Oh, I do need to do a little bit of sanding down on products. So maybe I'll do that now. It's already 7:38, but I do have like an hour or two of work to do for my part-time job. So I'm gonna wrap this up, pack everything, and then I'm gonna rest for the evening. What a long day it's been. Before this too, I like got a bunch of packages finished up and took to the post office and stuff. So it's been a day, but I'm not complaining. I love this little life I'm living. I love this little life. Okay, I just got off the train. I'm running a hair late, but I think we'll be okay. I'm honestly really tired and just laying in bed and binge watching TV sounds really nice right now, but we're gonna have fun. Okay, so technically we're at a half booth, but my booth partner never showed up, so I'm going to take my stuff and I'm gonna spread it out so it doesn't look quite so weird and empty. It looks so empty. Yeah, cool. Cash or card?
You can have them on little couches.
Thank you. It is almost 9 o'clock. Well, it is 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock. It's 9:04. I got home around 7:30. I then just showered, had some dinner, laid in bed, watched some YouTube because it was a long day. Overall, the day honestly went really well. I made my first sale within like the first 10 minutes, which I was shocked by. I sold my first worry stone and I was like, okay, it might be good. And then within, I think the first like hour and a half, 2 hours, I was already at like $200 in revenue. And so I had a feeling, I was like, okay, I think this market's actually gonna be kind of profitable. I think it's gonna be better than I thought it was gonna be, which was good. Also, my wife came by, had a couple friends come by, which was really nice. We just got to hang out for a bit and I got to kind of like get up and go fill my water and go to the bathroom and just have a teeny break in the middle of the day, which was amazing. And yeah, I'd say the only downside is I'm just tired. I just found the environment of this specific market really overstimulated. So by the time it got to around like 4 o'clock, like the last couple of hours, I just felt kind of like dazed over. Like I really had to just kind of put on my smiley mask a little bit more and just kind of push through. Just felt like a bit numb and zombie-like inside because I was just tired. But it was a good day. I'm going to now clay, not for crazy long. I'm not going to go crazy like I did on Renegade and stay up to like, what was it, like 5 a.m. that I stayed up that late? I don't remember. I'd have to watch the vlog again, but it was crazy. I didn't really sleep that weekend. It was not healthy. And so tonight I'm just going to clay for like an hour and a half, make whatever worry stones I can make, pop them in the oven, relax for a little bit, and then go to sleep. Let's do a little claying, shall we? It is the next day. I'm just kind of getting myself ready. I also decided, because I woke up feeling not so great. I'm definitely just tired and just feeling a little health flary, and so I am taking it a little slower. I'm deciding to get myself a car because the subway, it should take about 40 minutes on the subway, which is ridiculous because it's only like a few miles away from here, but just like the way you have to go on the subway, there's no direct route. Yesterday, the weekend trains were terrible. It took me over an hour to commute there and an hour to commute back home. Whereas if I get a car, it is currently a 15-minute drive. And so I'm just gonna splurge on the $30, get myself a car. I am just making a little bit of oatmeal, which I think I'm honestly probably gonna just put in a little container and take with me because I do need to grab the car in about 15 minutes. So what I sculpted last night, there's these four, oh my God, I'm dropping everything today. I feel so glitchy. So I ended up sculpting these last night, plus a brown matcha kitty. This one has a spiral back and the matcha kitty has a spiral back, but these three, oh my gosh, have flat backs. So I'm gonna sand these down. Also, just because my stock was getting low, I'm also taking additional little prototypes that I made that I'm not selling online, but maybe someone will like them. So I'm gonna take my little pink pig cow prototype and I'm just gonna see if anyone buys it, if anyone wants it. So I'm gonna sand these down real quick. And the other thing is that yesterday I did bring my camera, which if you're curious, this is the Canon EOS R50, and I brought my big old tripod along with my phone and my MOFT tripod, and then I also have my little DJI Mic Mini, which is this little thing popped up here, and I'm wearing it right here. But today, I don't wanna have to lug all this around, so I'm gonna leave these things here at home. From here on out for the rest of the day, you're gonna have good old iPhone footage just shot using just these things. So if you're curious what it's like to just film on your iPhone as far as like the quality of it, then this will show you. But now it is 9:30 and I need to get my butt in an Uber in the next like 5-10 minutes so we can get to the market and set up. Because this is also a market where I can't leave my things overnight. Like I had to entirely tear down my booth yesterday and I have to entirely put it back up this morning, which is fine. I mean, literally down here, this is, everything fits into these things. Market day 2. We're all set up for day 2. I was a little more rushed. We got it all up. I'm still very tired, but it's okay. And Emily is gonna come today and hang out again, which will be really nice. And I'm gonna treat her to a lovely matcha or whatever fancy drink she wants. Hope you can hear me. Just prepping some little bags at the moment. I already made 3 orders. One was before I even had my booth finally set up, and then I sold some stones and some stickers, so off to a good start. For my little packaging, it's very simple. I literally just use a glassine bag. I put a little business card in there. Everything's so small. Like an hour and a half in and we sold the pink cow pig creature. Which makes me so happy, someone loved it. Strawberry milk cow. It's my favorite. I got mine as a look. Oh my gosh, look at them together. Of course, they're queens. She just made a sale. It's amazing. I can just chill out for a second. We are done with market day 2, or the whole market, I guess. It's kind of loud here, so we'll recap tomorrow, but it is now actually almost like a week later. I was working on a lot of orders, but now let's sit down, have a little coffee, and chat about the weekend, do a little market recap. So first off, financially, I won't make you wait for that. I'm not gonna give exact numbers. I am gonna say that it was a profitable weekend though. It wasn't quite as profitable as Renegade, but it was close actually. I was surprised. I didn't think it would be as profitable as it was, so I would definitely do it again. It's definitely a worthwhile market. That being said, from also talking to my vendor neighbors though, it seemed like a little bit of a mixed bag, so maybe I just got lucky that day. People just really like my products. Also, I really appreciated just like the organization and communication within the whole market and with the team. So would I recommend the FAD Market? I would. I think it was really well and I really appreciated it. And as I've been reflecting on the market and what it's been like for me, I have 3 major takeaways. Some are pros, some are cons. The first off is that it made me much more confident in the sustainability of this company and being able to like sustain myself and my life and make money off of it. Because this market wasn't super niche, it was more general, I do feel like I could actually do more general market, more like street markets kind of stuff, and it would be profitable for me, which is amazing because I know the products that I make are pretty niche and I wasn't sure if it would appeal to a wider audience. Because also like at Renegade, I wasn't surprised because the audience there is a little more niche as well. So I definitely feel more confident if I want to add markets in more, then I could definitely make this like a financially good, it's a weird way to say it. So I do feel confident that if I want to make markets a bigger part of my business, then it would be a smart business decision, which feels pretty cool. But that does take me to point 2, which is the mental exhaustion and overstimulation that comes from doing markets and having such long days is not sustainable for my body. I can definitely do it every once in a while, but as a neurodivergent person who also struggles a lot with like noise sensitivity, being in a market is honestly really hard for me. I definitely need like a couple days to recoup from it afterwards. And not to say that I also don't love it, like I genuinely do have a good time and I love getting to like meet people and share my art and see people like actually react to it in person and see their first impressions. But as much as I also do love it, I have to also be realistic about the body and the mind that I have, and it is a lot of work. That being said, I'm sure I'll do markets every once in a while, but I also don't think I'll make it a huge part of my business just because of the toll it does take on me. I can't really imagine myself doing it all the time. I think that would be really exhausting. But it is also a fun experience, so it's like there's a give and take there. And my last and third takeaway, which also kind of goes off of those 2, is between doing the market and also my online shop, which has been doing really, really well lately. I've been getting a ton of orders, which is really exciting, and it's kind of like booming. I feel like Tiny Bloom is like bloomed and it is like a thing now, and I'm finally actually at the point where I'm making a full-time income off of my business, which feels crazy, and I hope it lasts. I hope it's not just like this peak and then I go down. But I don't think it will be, because the other thing that I really learned at this market is that even when my keychains and my jewelry are cheaper, people still, they want the worry stones. And I mean, I can't blame them. They're super cute. And also, whenever you start a business, one of the things you have to think about is what is the value I'm offering to the world and giving to people, and how am I going to help improve their lives with this thing that I'm making, or this thing that I'm providing, or this service, or this class, whatever you happen to do in your business. And compared to a trinket that is just cute that you add to your bag versus like a worry stone, which is a fidget, which is something you'll actively use, which has a very clear purpose and use, and is also cheaper because of the way that I have decided to design them. For example, like leaving them matte instead of glazed, which I also do just because I prefer the matte texture better than it being glazed. But it also allows me to sell it at a much cheaper price point than if I did glaze it, just because glaze, as well as just the time it takes to do it, adds a lot of money onto it. So that long ramble to say, so did my clear out sale work? Yes and no. I still primarily sold worry stones. Those are the ones most people were buying, but I did sell some other things. I sold a good amount of earrings and some keychains. I sold a phone charm. It definitely did help to kind of clear some inventory out. I still have some left over. I didn't sell everything, but even with having those items at like their discounted price at a cheaper price point, the worry stones were still clearly the winner, which also just makes me much more confident in the direction that I have been thinking about taking my business, which is essentially making Tiny Bloom Studios a handmade fidget toy company. And that just feels like a very full circle, serendipitous kind of moment, because the reason I picked polymer clay back up and then eventually started my business was because of me learning about my neurodivergence and my brain and realizing how bad a burnout I was in and wanting to get out of burnout and take better care of myself and create a life that is more aligned. Hopefully I will not just live in burnout my whole life. And also through sharing my art and just being on social media too, it's really helped me learn to embrace and accept those parts of me, like the neurodivergent, kind of quirky, weird parts of myself. And so to that, I just am very grateful. And I feel like I have a lot of clarity on where I want to take my business and what I want to do. And yeah, I think that is all of the rambles I am gonna take you on. Also, I do have to say, using just my phone and like the MOFT tripod also really did help make the second day feel a lot less stressful. So if you wanna check out the MOFT tripod for yourself, it's linked in the bio below. I highly recommend it. I literally use it, I'm not kidding you, every single day of my life, whether it's filling my studio or just like watching a little YouTube video while I'm like doing the dishes or, you know, around my house. It is very helpful. I really, really recommend it. Like, it is one of my favorite products. And with that, I think we're officially done with this video. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. I actually don't know what my next video is going to be. I haven't planned it out yet. I haven't thought about it yet, but I am thinking I might do a coffee and clay episode because I miss those. I miss them a lot. But in the meantime, do something creative, do something good for yourself, nourish that little inner child of you because we all have it, and I will see you again very soon. All right, bye friends.